Welcome to camp. If we did this right, today is Thanksgiving 2025. And we're out here because Paul always did a Thanksgiving special, so that's what we're gonna do for you today. Remember when your mom would get up at 4 in the morning, put the turkey in the oven? We didn't quite get up at 4 this morning, but we got up a while ago to get the coals burned down because you need coals, not hot fire, to cook in Dutch ovens. And our prime rib is gonna take a while. We got an 11-pound prime rib that I'm gonna split in half so I don't take until midnight tonight cooking it. We're gonna put it in our Dutch oven. We're gonna line the bottom with bacon, thick sliced, sugar-free, sort of good for you bacon. Then we're gonna put some over the top. And the reason is the bacon, and because prime or bison is one of the leanest red meats, if not the leanest red meat that you will get. So there's very little fat, unlike a beef prime rib. So we need to add some fat, and we don't want it to stick to the bottom, so we're gonna put the bacon in here. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of bacon over the top of it. Then we're gonna have some bacon for breakfast. Now, I have to thank our friends at Stangl Bison Ranch over in Enterprise for selling me the bison. I've bought, I think, 5 years or so in a row now, a half bison from them. Teresa over there, Teresa Stangl, who's the marketing person, great person to work with. And no, they didn't sponsor the channel. I'm just thanking the people that helped us get here. Anyway, she sent this prime rib to me, and I meet her about halfway at a farmer's market every year to pick up my half. We have a couple of the crew in camp with us today. We have Glenn and Brian. They're just off camera here. They're gonna play sous chef for me. So, Glenn, if you don't mind getting in the cooler and getting the other package of bacon for me, that white thing right back there, or the wood thing right back there, is the cooler. Now, of course, I spiced this last night, should have done it days ago. It's all wrapped, but I want to cut it in half because that's 11 pounds of meat that may not cook before we get home. So just set it right there for me, sir, and I'll put some on the top. We're gonna try, take this fancy forged knife that was made for Paul as a tribute. From Fox Run Forge. We've shown this off before. Ooh, it is sharp. Ooh, that is some meat. That's all meaty. Wow. Now, look at that. That is some meat. Now, hopefully, I have a meat thermometer basically that I'm going to hook this up with also, and so that I don't have to keep opening it up. And we'll put that on when we do the coals later. Messy hands. I didn't prepare for that. Thank you. The magic of camera. Now, something you need to remember is that it's a one-time good deal today. There are no second cuts. I don't have another bison roast. You see what you get. And hopefully with Glenn and Brian here, we'll get to some Paul stories. We'll get to why we're thankful that we're out here. And I have a lot to be thankful for. One is this channel and all my Patreons and all my supporters and viewers that help encourage me to keep it going. I messed up almost. I didn't put it bone down. Ooh, I want to put this one bone down. Hold on. There we go. Yep, there. Now we'll put the bacon on it. I am not a connoisseur of prime rib. And I'm taking a heck of a risk because there is no redos. That being said, I want less chance of ruining it, so I'm putting it bone down. And more heat and stuff will get through the meat on the top and hopefully help it cook. So we have that. We're going to set all this. We'll clean it up. Don't worry. We'll do all that. Take my rag here. Seem to be in a little bit of hurry because I got a little bit of a late start and I want to get out of here before dark. So we'll get to the fun stuff of making biscuits and so on, but this is priority. Gonna take and just rough cut an onion. No, not gonna cut my leg in half. I know a lot of you out there, you're chefs and you're this and you're just cringing at our techniques out here in the field. I do have stuff to clean my hands with me, and I do understand those things. So, you know, before I move on to the next thing, I will wash my hands. Just put a little seasoning in here. All right, almost there. Now I'm gonna need some tongs. Okay. Now, bear with me just a minute. We'll get over here. I had to sit over here because we're gonna put this thing right there. And of course, I forgot a shovel today. Tongs. Tongs. Toss me some tongs there, camera person. There we go. Tongs. Okay. Get my coals out here to put the Dutch oven on. Put lots of coals underneath it. Don't quite have room because we're going to put other Dutch ovens and stuff over here. So I want the giant one. I want to control the heat better than putting it next to the fire. We'll get some fire coals. Coals are coals. We're using cowboy chunk, whatever those are. Briquettes. They're not briquettes. Charcoal. Hardwood charcoal. And again, nobody sponsored us, so anything I say about what we're doing or who helped us and so on is just because some people like to know those things. And I want to cook it pretty hot today, but I don't want to dry it out. One thing about bison, if you've never cooked it, you can dry it out really fast. Oh my goodness. Dutch oven weighs enough, let alone that. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, steamy. My hand was, there's my lid lifter. Ooh, that's steamy too. Lesson learned. Don't put lid lifter in the fire. Woo. We'll set that over here so it'll cool off for next time. Woo. Yeah, we had quite a good fire going here a little bit ago, so I'm gonna have to get that going again. We'll get more charcoal because we're gonna be burning a ton of charcoal today. And then we'll get some cowboy coffee going. Now, I have to point out that obviously we got a semi-auto on my hip. So we're just doing Dutch oven stuff. We didn't go the try to be period correct stuff this year. I had some plans to do something similar to that, but I didn't want to bring my Winchester commemorative or any other firearms out here in the pouring rain all day long. So we didn't. Yeah, you know, I got my sous chefs helping me get other coals going. Get them, you know, again, I'm not an expert like Paul was. And if we get through today and it turns out, I'll be happy. Nice thing about prime rib is if you don't eat it all one day and it's a little underdone in the middle, you can, you know, take and slice it off, put it in a fry pan and make eggs with it in the morning. And it's really good then too. So, I think for now, that's where we'll leave it. We'll take a really quick break, get the coffee going, and you won't have to look at my butt when I dig stuff out of the cooler. I have to sit beside my fire because my fire is wanting to smoke me out today. I wonder if this coffee's boiling. It's not boiling quite yet. Let's go. All right, now I got my Black Rifle Coffee Company grinder here. I got water that's almost boiling. We'll get it boiling again. And we will annoy you with the coffee grinder noise while I sit here and tell stories. Got more coals going because we're going to get some biscuits going here in a little bit. I'm going to try a recipe for biscuits that this Dutch oven chuck wagon cook guy on the YouTube. It's with whipping cream instead of butter and self-rising flour. So he calls it 2-ingredient biscuits. Now, of course, I'm going to throw some tortillas in the bottom of the Dutch oven. But I don't know. I never tried them before. So hopefully it'll come out. We did last year. We did the almond flour biscuits. Those turned out okay. One thing I learned last year is that you really can't cook over the fire because the heat isn't as consistent as it is with coals. Sorry. Nothing's by script today, and I have a hard time going on and on like Paul used to, because he'd have that all memorized and figured out, and he was amazing. He would have all rehearsed all this, and it looked live, and it looked just so off the cuff. But I'm telling you, he had every word remembered and exactly what he wanted to say and how he wanted to do it. And it's just the way he was, which is why he's a legend and I never will be. I'm just trying to keep the channel going and have fun and keep people entertained. And yes, this is a lot of work. Took a lot to get out here today. But it's a thanks to you guys, the fans, of course. And it is fun to do. And we'll benefit from some really good prime rib, because I won't overcook it. That's one thing. It's only about right at 50 degrees out here today. Yeah, you can see I'm just sweating my tail off because I'm sitting next to the fire. And I have to sit here with less room. Thank God it's not raining, because the smoke's blowing right into the way things are. We didn't plan that very well. So we got a fancy tea kettle. Turn the tea kettle around for tea for those that don't drink coffee. And like I said, nothing scheduled. Aha, done. That was easy. Now we take this fancy thing off the bottom. And we, according to this, wish I could remember his name, gentleman on the YouTube, you get your coffee water boiling, and you dump your coffee in there like that, and you get a rolling bowl, because he's from the south, so he says bowl. Anyway, you get it all rolling and bowling, and then when you let it get the thickness you want, you put some cold water down the spout that, one, takes the grounds out of the spout, and it settles the grounds to the bottom. Now, admittedly so, I probably made almost espresso grind, so we'll see how that turns out, but we'll get some more on, because I can guarantee you I will go through this pot of coffee today. And have to say,
It's kind of a old-fashioned tent.
Yes, it's a modern build, but it's called a trapper or fur trader's tent, something like that. And then today we've added this piece of canvas over the top. It's a little heavier type of canvas, so we added that so that it would give us a little more protection in case it turned really crappy out here. So, And I have to do everything beside the fire, out in front of the fire, because the smoke's blowing right in my freaking eyes today. Of course. Well, okay. Now I gotta dig out because I'm showing the real side of all this. Gotta go over here, dig in my box, find my self-rising flour. Well, the cooler has there's butter. It's a problem with coolers, isn't it, folks? They fall apart. And my whipping cream I'll need. Do this. We don't need the butter for them, just until later. All right. Got my heat thing. But I had a sack, and I know I have it, self-rising flour. Let me look in my storage unit. Aha, storage unit. And if we can pull it off, we're gonna make, in the interim, some Pop-Tart houses instead of gingerbread houses. So, one of my friends that allowed me to come up here and use this nice, beautiful spot, he's got some family friends that they make Pop-Tart houses. And I thought, well, how much apropos for honoring Paul and continuing something. Now, of course, that's whimsical, so Paul probably never would have done such a thing. Of course, he would have never looked discombobulated and everything like we do, or I do today. Hell, I've done my job for a while. I have no shame anymore. So, it's the way things are. Well, we're going to just take some flour, about 2 cups. Now I got half of it spilled all over, and do 2 cups or so. And we're going to put in some heavy whipping cream as the other ingredient. Since Glenn's been nice enough to be on camera, do you mind getting me a fork out of the bottom of that thing over there, please? My chuck box, so to call it, or whatever you want to call that. And just enough to make it moist. Thank you, sir. And stir it around. And there's a cutting board metal thing over there because I can't put my biscuits out on this that I'll need. Ooh, way too much whipping cream now, but always add more flour. And the whipping cream is supposed to take the place of all the fats that the butter and other things you put in there. Self-rising flour, no need for baking soda. Baking powder. Baking soda, moron. Baking powder. Okay. Get this all looking good and not too sticky anymore, and use up all the flour I got in the bowl. Because we're going to add a little more flour to it anyway on our hands and as we knead it a little bit. So, and then I'm promised that they'll turn out nice, but we'll see. Okay. Never done this before, so you get to learn or laugh at or however you want to phase it, just like me. Yes, sir. Set that down there for a second. Thank you. Put some flour on our thing here. Not exactly a cutting board. Put some flour on our hands here. Of course, sitting down to do this, because I don't have a chuck wagon and a fancy big table, or old Bertha, Whoo, that's getting hot on the leg. I don't have any of that. So I'm kind of really rednecking it here. And I'm sorry if you're a redneck and that offends you, not meant to. Shade treeing? Either way, we're doing what we can with what we have. Okay, set that down for later. We're not going to have a ton of them. Get some of this flour out of the way. We got enough on there now. Fold it over. And as the guy on there says, we're not going to knead it super much. Just get it flattened out. However you want to get it flattened out. And then get it flattened out. Okay, about 1/2 inch thick or so. And we got coals ready to go on the next Dutch oven. Or maybe even make another batch. This came out a little small. Get some of that flour knocked off there. Should have worn an apron today. All right. Now, cutting them. Well, let's. Of course, everything I have is back here. To include my flour scoop I was looking for. All right. Now, apparently, you don't ever twist your cookie or your biscuit cutter because it seals the edges and makes them tougher and not as fluffy. We won't twist it. We'll get at least 2 biscuits out of the deal today. Put this back together. Decent sized biscuits anyway. Okay. Do another one. All right. And we'll just throw this one in as the scraps, and just because. Okay. Get another one of our Dutch ovens out here. We're probably going to put it in the fire pit so it stays a little bit warmer. Now I'm going to do what he said not to. He said use bacon grease. And of course, I don't have any bacon grease this morning, but I do have butter. So we're going to use a little bit of butter in the pan. Butter tends to burn a little bit, you know that. Bacon grease just gives it a better flavor and it greases it, you know, so, and it's easier to get it in there and smear it around. And, you know, my Dutch oven's cold right now, so get that in there. Okay, put our biscuits in here. Piece of biscuit in here. Gotta leave them a little room to move and grow. Bring this over here. I can't hardly see between the sweat and the smoke in my eyes. Okay. Pour those down there. Pour some more on there. I have a feeling we're going to go through some coals today. Put this in here. Now I want to move it over here so it's away from the fire mostly. Just put a little more on top. Okay. Between it being in the fire and those, that should turn out nicely. That handle's not very hot. I'm gonna put these around the edge. Get more heat underneath this. There we go. All right. Spread those out. So we want good coals. And then we'll get our sous chefs to get these to, we have the coal bag again. Let me go off camera and grab that real quick. All right, well, don't worry, I got plenty more where this came from. No, it sounds like an earthquake, doesn't it? Lighter fluid? Yep, yeah. Okay. Lighter fluid. Ooh, it's still, the thing's still hot. Okay. Excuse me. Fire starter things down there. Put one of these fire starter things down there. These are almost like gopher matches. You know, strike one, go for another. That's what my dad used to say. He called them, I mean, they were paper matches, but the way they make stick matches nowadays, they're just about the same thing. All right. Get that going. That'll get that going. That'll get that going. Christmas. Throw these off camera. There we go. So, now let's go back to my coffee if I can get around here without burning myself. Woo! I had a cup of, there it is. Cold water, pour down the spout. So many things, so many moving parts today. Man, maybe I should have hired a chuck wagon cook to come out here for me. Okay. We'll see if that'll settle the grounds. Put that over there just a little bit, although it's really hot. Move our additive to coffee back over here. We got a little contest going. See if you can see the nods to Paul in camp. Did anybody mark what? Well, it's 10 o'clock now, so about 9:30 we put the prime rib on. Okay. Well, just in case the biscuits actually turn out, probably 10, maybe 15 minutes. Keep that in mind. But just in case they do turn out, I'm gonna try one more batch of them. And then we need to get I know what we need to do next while those cook. Need something to put on the biscuits, and I promised my help that we would have sausage to go on the biscuits. So that's what we're gonna do. This water is plenty hot enough. Let me go back in my storage unit, get a fry pan, or do I have all the fry pans out there? Oh, there's one. I don't know whose brilliant idea it was to put the gosh darn it, went brain dead. Fire in front of the tent. Who would have thought that it would have automatically just all blown in that way? But that's the way it's working today. Camera person, can you throw me another rag, please? Clean one, preferably. Wipe out the storage stuff off of this. There we go. All nice and seasoned. Put it over here on the edge. Now, the reason cooking over a fire is not desirable is you can't control the fire. Did anybody off camera want to try some coffee? I don't know if that got dark enough or not, but well, it'll keep boiling. Okay. Looks coffee-ish. This is not quite as black as I normally make it. Hopefully that's not all just grounds in there for you, but we're just gonna set this beside the fireplace. There. It's just dark roast coffee. All right, now sneak over here to my cooler where I got my sausage. Now my sausage is, for anybody that cares, crate-free, no sugar, no antibiotics, humanely raised, so they could be humanely harvested and made into breakfast sausage. It's just good old-fashioned breakfast sausage. And because the biscuits are kind of small, we're just gonna make kind of small patties. Set that over there. Set that down there so it's not touching anything. Because what's better outside when you're cold, except for over the fire not so cold, than some sausage on a biscuit with some coffee or maybe whiskey. You know, each to their own. There. Ooh, it's sizzling. Take care of that in a minute. Gonna put these on, let them cook for just a minute, and then we're gonna do some cleanup. We're getting ahead of ourselves here, and everything's looking bad. Do you have any fun Paul stories about Old Westy camping or jackrabbit hunting where he'd insist on cooking certain things? Or excuse me while I go over to the water source, wash my hands. Okay. Well, for those that want bacon and sausage, got a little bit of bacon left from the prime rib cookie. We'll do that. There we go. Paper towels. There we go. I've only kicked them around 15 times today.
That is a gigantic skillet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have 2 of those now. So, it is warm up underneath the cover here. Not that was the coffee enough?
Actually, it's really good.
Oh,
I'm going to say pleasantly surprised at how delicious it actually is.
Well, somewhere the guts, these coffee pots, the guts are so cheaply made.
Yeah.
That the stem for a true percolator broke last year. So I was forced, in this case, this year, to make the type of coffee we got. And I was watching this. He does competitions, all kinds of stuff. Puts it on YouTube, and he's got old Bertha as he's got a cook stove. He doesn't do it over the fire. He's got a genuine giant sets up camp for ranches.
Ooh.
And the cowboys that are working, you know, working the cows and so on, doing roundups and all that. And anyway, so he's got a giant wood cook stove and a giant coffee pot that holds about 2 gallons of coffee. And he likes, you know, this is his method, and if it works, it works. But I mean, yeah, he said you not only so when you pour the cold water down the spout, it gets the grounds out of the spout, washes it out, and then that cold water pushes the grounds to the bottom of the pot, and you slowly pour off the top of the pot, and then you don't have to worry about it.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Oh, that is pretty good. Well, now that we got all floury, let's get all floury again. But this time I got a scoop that I had last time, but it's probably a 2-cup scoop. Oh.
Well, it may take 6 hours for the prime rib, but you and I will be cooked in a few here.
Yeah.
This is really hot.
Behind you, nope. Off camera, I have a pancake flipper, long-handled one. Yes, that kind of thing. Just toss it right here in the middle. Look at that. I'm not dead yet. Woohoo! I can still catch things with my blurry vision. But when you want to, those aren't quite ready yet, but
oh yeah,
when you want to, I didn't want to quite push them, you know, right on top of the fire. Fire's a little, ooh, this leg's getting warm. Anyway, so now we'll try this trick again. Yeah, the worst it can do is not turn out. So, and theoretically for out here, it's a lot easier to do this. Well, I probably should have measured my flour better. Yeah, we'll get what we get. But anyway, I don't know why I'm saving any. This is the, oh, all right, definitely you gotta, you know, here I am, my nose is trying to run because between being hot and cold and, excuse me. There. Forget that everything I do is amplified by the mic. And I'm wearing a mic, but nobody else is here, so you might not hear Glenn as well. Hopefully we do. You know. My camera operator's got to make sure the batteries don't go dead and the disc doesn't fill up. So Glenn, we've been doing a series on less than lethal weapons, let's call them that. Pepper spray is where we started. A couple of days ago we filmed the one on pepper ball projectile weapons. So they're CO2 guns that shoot, one was a 68 caliber, one was a 50 caliber, that shoot pepper balls that are supposed to break when they impact the person. And then the powder goes up in their face and so on. And they're supposed to have a little bit of pain with them because they go zinging out there pretty good.
Right.
So we did that. And our camera operator today was kind enough to put safety gear on. We put some lightweight body armor on the camera operator and shot them. And they could feel them, and they were the rubber, you know, like rubber balls like come out of a 12 gauge, except for, in this case, 50 caliber. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, hard rubber balls. And they could feel them, but those didn't cause pain through the body armor, of course. Then, that they got brave, and we wanted to see, we had to test whether or not the pepper balls themselves would actually break on a person. So they were wearing a hoodie, and we put them in the hoodie and a t-shirt type thing underneath and shot them in the back, and by golly, it did break and put a welt on them and stung like heck, and that was with just the lightweight intended to break pepper ball. They did not want to risk the rubber impact ball again, so we didn't do that, but I can see why. So it was nice to know that they actually did break and work properly. I was impressed because I've heard stories of the pepper balls not working well. So we're going to get a little bit, so it's not sticky. You don't want it too floury, but not sticky. And we're just going to risk it, folks, with the biscuits here. Don't judge my kneading skills. I am not a Dutch oven championship cook. Paul would just rip it apart and throw them in the pan. So, again, I am not a Dutch oven expert. I'm risking it. Just come out here and have you guys evaluate my skills and or lack thereof. The good news is, bad news, good news. If you don't think I'm cleanly enough, etc., you aren't eating it. And if you do and you think, man, that would be really good, I'm sorry you're not here. It's a little hard for me to travel across the nation / North American continent / other places. And, it'd be bad enough just to get us fed today, let alone me try to do that and feed other people. But maybe if I ever become a quadruple billionaire and money's not an issue, I can hire a staff to go do that for me, then that might be a thing. So, the other thing I did, and it'll come out about the same time this video, is Fan Anthem is a guy that does behind the channel videos. And he's got a big company, he's a big businessman guy, very nice guy, him and his wife both great people. And he wanted to do a behind the channel for us.
Oh, cool.
And so I flew down to Florida. Spent the day on the range down there with him, shooting some pop cans, embarrassing myself on the bill drill. Just talking about the channel and where it came from and hopefully where it's going and all those fun things. And that was a great time, and it got me out of Oregon in October. Yeah.
Cannot complain about that.
Oh, I came back and it was raining sideways, literally. So it was a couple weeks ago, and that, watch for that. It'll be coming out on his channel. We'll promo it about the same time this comes out. So anyway, no, it was great to get some advice on the business side of this. And I know that wasn't Paul's thing. And I know some of the fans don't like that. And some of them understand that this, along with being fun, getting to spend time with friends and stuff, it is a business, ultimately. So that's just the way it is.
We might need a plate. It looks like our first piece of bacon is almost ready.
Okay, right behind you are some paper plates, because somewhere I lost the plates for this. For the blue Old Westy ceramic cookware. So, yeah, that we can move that over just a little bit, get a little more heat on it.
It's probably pretty good for the sausage, just because sausage, especially fairly organic sausage, needs a little bit of cooking time.
Yeah.
Because it's pork.
Yeah.
Here in the 21st century, we don't have to think about that a ton.
No.
But the more organic you get, the more you need to consider.
Yeah. Well, our bison, I don't know if they call it organic, but it's pretty darn close. It's all grass-fed. No growth hormones, anything like that. Family-owned ranch. Has been doing bison since the 70s. And great people to work with. So, they've got me on their books now. I've ordered so many half bison from them. They call me up. They don't, they say, oh yeah, you're on our schedule to, and I get, I get one later in the year, because the later in the year you go, the more weight you get out of it.
Right.
And then if you buy a half bison, you get the option of the heart, all the stuff that would be in half of a bison.
Right.
So that's the nice part.
Sounds yummy.
Oh, bison is tricky to cook, because even burger you can dry out in a heartbeat. But it is a little bit sweeter. It is yummy. Oh, it's good stuff.
You and Paul hunted bison at least once, right?
Right. So on our opening,
Right.
there's a picture of the giant bison that he shot. On the opening is a picture. That is Paul after he went to Kuwait. He, in the Middle East during some operation. Anyway, he spent some of that money to buy myself and my dad and himself a bison hunt. And my dad and I had 4-year-old cows we got to shoot, which are still a big animal. And Paul bought the championship, the big trophy one. And you guys, I don't know if you ever saw the skull, but the skull around the eyes was that thick. It's huge. I mean, the base of those horns, if you look at the picture, half of the base of the horns covered up by the super thick hide and hair. And you just can't appreciate how giant a full-grown male bison is until you get your hands on them. And I mean, they're just huge. I mean, they're like, I don't know, 6, 7 foot at the shoulders probably, if not more. So it was fun. He wanted to shoot it with a muzzleloading round ball, 58 caliber, and he did, but it was a round ball, and the bison ran off. And then he spent the rest of the day. He shot it again, and then I can tell this story now. He's not here. He ended up shooting it. There's a picture I have somewhere, like 6 times, 7 times. He went and got his 444 Marlin because the muzzleloader wasn't getting deep enough. And he had this bison at, I don't know, 25, 35 yards with not a hard cast bullet, but a hunting bullet. And he shot it right here. And he says that bison went and looked at him like, what? Why do you keep doing this to me? And then walked off. And so he ended up shooting it again. And it went down, and it's a bison, so it didn't, ruin any meat. But that bullet, when we skinned, because I skinned the head out for him, was laying on the sinew and the part of the jaw. That bullet it went under the hide. That was it. Yeah, I mean, I know elk are tough to kill. They're probably one of the toughest animals that in North America that we hunt a lot, that are pretty tough to kill comparatively to deer and other things. Not grizzly bears, of course, but that bison, man, I mean, it was just big and it was tough. So where is my lid lifter's over here buried, because I had it in the fire, remember, and it was hot. Let's see if we can check on our biscuits and keep the coals out of, oh, those are overdone. So they puffed up, they did what they're supposed to, but I let one go just too long. All right, let's set this over here and get Glenn to take out
Oh, hey.
Can you scoop those out of there, Glenn? And
I think I can.
we got that bowl right behind you's clean, it'll work.
Fair enough.
We got butter over here, we got honey over here, we got sausage cooking. So, oh, they're not even burned on the bottom, are they? A little bit, darn it. Well, we'll throw this chunk of, yeah, well, I'm not too much of a honey person, but
people just be,
they're for you guys, so, come share.
eating stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we can scrape it
They
off.
look
I mean,
flaky.
I didn't put my tortillas down. If I'd put tortillas in the bottom, we wouldn't have a problem right now. But okay, put those. Do that. Okay. Put this butter in here to soak up that. Now put these biscuits in here. Not that one, I guess. He ran away from home. Whee! Man, biscuit down. Ooh, these might actually take up the whole pan this time. There we go. Good thing we dropped one. We wouldn't have had room. Okay. Take my hand. And just like I thought, the biscuit that was, you know, closest to the fire, because I was BSing and not doing what I was supposed to do, got a little too warm. Oh, okay, come back here. There we go. It's a trick. Okay. There we go. Got plenty of good coals on there still. If I'd taken them out at the 10-minute mark, like I said, instead of the 20-minute mark, I wouldn't have had a problem. Okay. I think we'll give this at least another half hour before I look inside and make sure it's even cooking. Take the rest of these coals here, pour around the outside on the bottom. I think the name of the game today is keep the coals burning. Okay, get these up here where they'll actually do some good. All right. Do you feel like trying a biscuit, Brian? Okay, well. There's a paper plate back there. There's some bacon that looks like it's done. That sausage looks like it's done. So, help yourself. There's a knife in the box, in the crate there, or the trunk. There's a butter knife in there. Feel free to give me your honest opinion. Well, gently, your honest opinion. And I will get my garbage picked up here. And we'll come back and do a little talking to the camera. For the camera, what we've done now is we're trying to thicken up our cherries for our cherry cobbler. And we've got arrowroot instead of cornstarch. And these are Signature Select, just regular everyday, dark sweet cherries, pitted, no preservatives. That's it, folks. So, frozen cherries. They're not now, of course. And we're going to just make the filling. Then I'm going to split it between a couple Dutch ovens, if I can get two that'll cooperate with me. And we are going to make filling here, yeah. And then we'll put the two different types of cake on the top. And I'm going to have to get it pretty thick, so it's going to be a while, which is good because we still got another couple hours of my prime rib here. But looking at that, that is not smoke coming off there, is it? Is the lid on straight?
Looks like it.
I can't tell from this angle because
That might be
it's
smoke.
steaming a lot more than it was. But we just put a whole bunch of new coals under the bottom of it.
Looks sealed to me.
Okay. All right.
There's a little gap in the wires.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, as long as we don't burn it, and I don't think we will. The bacon wasn't even crispy on the bottom. Although we did put quite a bit of coals on the bottom of it. But again, that's a big Dutch oven. The prime rib is probably, I don't know, it's a few inches off the top for sure, so you have that space to heat up. It's just an oven, right? I mean, that's the idea. I was not able to, or didn't sear it prior to putting it in there. But the more moisture you have in there, the more blah, 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 the more tender it should be and come out. And, you know, as long as we leave a little bit of red in the middle of it, and so that we, you know, for those that like it rare, we'll have that. And some leftovers, because I'm pretty sure the four of us today are not going to eat 11 pounds of prime rib. Although, maybe we'll give it a good try.
Did you come on the Subtle Lake camp out? That one with
No.
so Brian and Paul and a bunch of folks and I went on this camp out to Subtle Lake really early in the season, and it occurred to me watching Paul made breakfast as he was wont to do, and one of his skills was the effective management of the different things that were happening in the different cast iron at the same time.
Yes.
He was his punctuality in dealing with cast iron cookery for like big meal situations was impressive.
He was a master, and he'd won competitions, and yes, having this much cast iron out and cooking in a skillet, and I mean, in all honesty, his cooking in a skillet was over a fire, was eggs in a skillet. I mean, you know, it's what it was, and it's what you got. You know, cook the bacon up, cook the eggs up, voila. But when it came to making pineapple upside down cake or ham and yams or 1,000 other things, he had the timing down.
Yep.
And he'd done it so much, and he'd won competitions, and he'd, you know, all those various things. Man, I wish you guys had smell-o-vision, because that prime rib is smelling really good. Just the seasonings. We seasoned it the night before, so it sat overnight, get some of that rub and stuff in it. So anyway, but yeah, he was a master at that stuff, and you know, I'm just trying to not destroy it, to be quite honest with you, and see if we, you know, entertain the folks. I do have a kind of funny story. So I have a T-shirt that has our logo on it, which is the playing card, Roy and Paul, Hero Brothers in Arms, Ace, you know, with a hole in it. Anyway, so I was wearing that T-shirt on my flight to Miami a few weeks ago, and I've been sitting next to this guy, young guy. Everybody's young compared to me. And he kind of finally looks over and he goes, "Is that a Paul Harrell T-shirt?" "Yeah." He says, "Oh, I'm a big fan. I watch their stuff." And now he doesn't know who he's talking to. He doesn't know it's me. And he's going on about how great it is. And I'm sorry, if you're watching this, I totally forgot your name, but you're cool. And thank you. I've been telling the story like crazy. So he says, "Oh, I got to meet Paul once. He was doing Dutch oven stuff up in Washington." This young guy's from Washington, and young by 25-ish.
Right.
Okay. He's not a baby.
50-year-old standards.
And he asked me about Wildcat cartridges, and he's trying to make he's doing a firearm in a Wildcat 9mm type cartridge that's super go faster and so on. And anyway, so we have this conversation, and he's, you know, like, he tells me you got to meet Paul and so on. And I said, "Oh, what do you think about Roy?" So I baited him.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, dude. And he goes, "Oh, well, Roy's doing a good job. I like what he's doing. He's more opinionated than Paul." And then funny, I had that same comment, one or two of those comments, like, Roy's more open with his political views or his comments and his opinions than Paul was. Paul was more serious and just told you the facts. Well, that probably is true. And the other day I was doing our pepper spray video, and we had that home defense gel. And to be honest with you, it was crap. And I said so on the video. I said, "This is crap." Well, Paul probably would have never said that. He would have, you know, "Well, it says 15 feet, and you know how things are, and they never put the can in the bottle, blah, blah, blah." So, you know, he was much more articulate and easygoing and, you know, scientific than I will ever be. Because I'll just say, this is crap. But, you know, the fun thing about this channel is that in this case, it's me. This is, you know, it's us. That's what you get. You know, I mean, yeah, we're out here. We got the tent. We got, you know, some stage setting and stuff. But it's still just us. It's not a giant production crew. It's not tons of sponsors. It's not, you know, all Hollywood and a lot of stop action videos, or what I want to say, high speed cameras, which are all cool, and there's some great people doing those things already. Oh, you probably didn't see it. You guys were hunting, but I made the pepper spray video in a windstorm. I mean, my shirt is blowing. I had it untucked, and it's blowing. The leaves are falling. The damn stuff on the table fell off. But I had a windsock on this. You don't hear one bit of wind.
Are we recording?
Yeah, but we're recording everything.
This is all.
On
This
or off the
doesn't-
record, what do you think of less than lethals?
Oh, that's a good question.
I've always kind of been personally anti less than lethal because in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yes.
And especially indoors, if you're using any sort of chemical deterrent,
Yes.
depending on which way the wind blows, as it were,
Right.
even if you score a direct hit on somebody with a pepper spray or pepper foam or a pellet, you still run the risk of them engaging you and
Yes.
getting peppered yourself.
Yes, there's all those risks. So part of the reason we're doing this video, and maybe we can encompass that in there, this series of videos. So I'm doing sprays,
Right.
gels and pepper spray, and then the projectile ones, which are a little less contaminating.
Right.
And then, and Elaine, if you want to get out of the smoke, you can sit right over there.
Oh, I'm good. This makes me look squinty and hard.
Okay. And then we're doing impact weapons, and we're doing impact weapons. So canes, and because a lot of, right now, there's an industry out there making personal defense canes that are medical devices. So they can't tell you can't bring it on the airplane. They can't tell you can't bring it in because it's a medical device that you need.
Huh.
Right. So that's that's what they're doing. And there's a $500 cane out there from Cane Masters if you want to put knurling on it and a special hooky. I mean, you make it really nice and all this and other stuff. You can spend a lot of money. I think it's $250 for a metal one that's the TDI defense cane from K-Bar. Cold Steel makes a couple. All viable options, or a walking stick, right? And even your trekking pole, which is a little lightweight for hitting somebody with, but there are cane options, which also gets into walking sticks. It's a weapon that can do damage, is the bottom line.
Oh,
Tasers and or pepper spray, no, because they aren't going to do any damage. The only damage a taser's going to do is if you fall over and smack your face, okay? But no more so than punching the guy would, right? You can do those things. When you start using clubs and so on, you do up the level, but it's still less than lethal stuff. It's intended that way, right? And to be honest with you, clubs are not they may cave the dog's head in or something, but you have to know to use a club effectively. You have to break bone. You can't hit them in the meaty part of the arm like law enforcement. You can't hit them in the thigh and discourage somebody. And if you do, then they wouldn't have much fight in them anyway. If you hit somebody and they go, ow, that hurts, stop, then, it just, because I've hit a guy. I split his damn hand open and he was crazy at the time. Literally, he had a psychotic break. He didn't feel it. And I probably told you the story, but I hit a guy with an asp baton and split his hand down to here. It went between his fingers and split his fucking hand down here. Just like, and he didn't even care. Didn't even wipe the pepper spray away with a split hand. I hit him, and he was built, he wasn't as tall as you, Brian, but he was his same size, basically. Runner guy, he was fit, And I hit him in the thigh here, and in the hospital, there was a welt from the center of his leg to the center of his leg. Now, the baton didn't bend.
He did.
I flattened his damn leg. He laughed at me. It was like hitting a damn tree out here and just wham! And that was it. I mean, that was before I hit him in the hand. And all this time, this all went on for about 3.5 minutes. But during this time, I went from, I might have to shoot this guy. Can I shoot him yet? No, you cannot. I'm not on my back. I'm not exhausted. He's not punching me. I can't shoot him. Okay, so I start with a taser, but we're arm's length, literally. And the two probes go here. They don't spread enough. And it ran and it did what it's supposed to, but it didn't get the effect to lock him up. Okay, and he didn't feel pain, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So I ran it 3 different times on him, and the last time he reaches up, we're face to face about this distance now, and he reaches up and pulls him out, so I get my baton out, and I just throw the taser away, because I only had the one shot in it. I just throw it away, get it as far away, whatever. And then I get my baton, and I was carrying it in a rotating thing anyway here, and the taser's in this hand, and as I'm doing this, I pull the baton, and it goes, wait-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. In fact, I cannot tell you how I picked it up. or got it back in my hand or got it deployed, but I did. And now I'm face to face with a guy and closer, maybe like Glenn and I reach out and wham, hit him in the fucking leg. And he's like, okay. Okay, we're checking our second dose of biscuits or patch of biscuits. Oh, they turned out perfect. Let me see. Woo, took it off the, oh yeah. Look at this, Grandma.
That is amazing.
Look at that. Perfect. Woohoo, my skills are improving. So there we go. Now, we're gonna set this over here. Gonna leave them in the Dutch oven. Gonna go back around here for a second. Gonna add the coals that were on the Dutch oven. If I can do it without killing myself, falling in the fire, that would be really embarrassing. Those will stay warm for a bit. Gonna add more coals because we checked on this, probably off camera, but we checked on this. I want to get it cooking a little bit hotter. I don't want to be out here till midnight but it is smelling good and it is cooking. There's juice in the bottom. So I just don't want to be out here all the next 3 days trying to cook this bison. And I really want to get some of it done so we can test it in the field and tell you guys how great it is on camera. Pour these on there.
Yeah, that'll get that rocking up.
Yeah, well, there we go. There. I'll get it cooking. The bison's down on the bottom, so I'm just stacking up there, and it is a little cool out here, so, you know, it's not like your oven at home in a 70-degree house, so it's going to take a little bit. And then I'll take this one. Oh, even these plastic handles are hot. We'll put it around the edges again. Woo. There we go. All right. We'll get those going again in a minute. You know, when your Dutch oven, the thing that all these channels never show you, but especially when you're Dutch ovening, is that all this maintenance, you know, and like we said in the beginning, this is all in real time, all right? So there's no redos. I don't have one sitting off screen somewhere already done. This is it. And so it, oh my God, that is a heavy booger. Whew. But I want to get some more underneath her here. Get some good coals underneath her too. That's where the bison is on the ground. So. There we go. Now, the thinner part is almost up to medium, and the big, thickest part is still at rare. So it is cooking. We're making progress. That's good. And see, not period correct. Somebody would know that. But. All right. Well, we're not quite ready to do that yet. But. So, I think we're going to turn the camera off just a little bit. And like I said, get some more stuff cleaned up here. Turn the camera off. We'll enjoy another biscuit off camera and get all prepped to do the next things, the cobblers, etc. We'll be back with you in a little bit. I think I want to put it on this end where there's some coals in the bottom. Hold on, get flat, you booger. There, we'll do that. Okay. Take advantage of our coals. So we're getting there. Got our bacon cooking for bacon grease to do the beans in. And I know I promised you some, well, I gotta get another cake going here in a minute, but we're waiting on a pan to do that in. And biscuits. So we may not get the other biscuits, but let me see if I can do at least a few of them for you. So I have almond flour and that's salt. That should be baking powder. I know I labeled one from this year. All right. want to lose this. There we go. We know this is baking powder. And we know this is salt, sea salt. And this. And we need the milk, which is over here. And we need, this can go down here. And do I have another clean bowl? I should have 3 bowls of blue type. Could you clean that one up quickly for me? I'll get my egg. Just gonna do a single batch this time, folks. So, egg, baking powder, a little bit of salt, milk, and flour, of course. I went all the way around, can't get in. It must be 80 degrees underneath here with the way the fire is and everything. I'm going crazy. I had tongs. Stir the bacon up with. I didn't set the tongs down. There they are, back here. All right, well. Hold on. Gotta get my paper towels. Boy. This might turn into a comedy, but I hope it's entertaining either way. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Trust me, it's gonna taste good. Funny antics or not, it's gonna taste good. There we go. So that fire can't be too hot because don't need a lot of heat for the eggs, of course, or the beans, of course, but set those there out of the dirt. All right. Get some. Shake that up. This is almond flour. Or about a cup or so in there. Okay, 1.5 cups. There we go. Yeah, maybe 2 cups. It's just a baking powder biscuit recipe with not aluminum-free baking powder, and instead of regular everyday flour, we're using almond flour. And I'm only going to do about 3, it looks like. Put an egg in it. And beat that around. Put a little milk in it. Put a little baking powder in. Now I put a lot of baking powder in it because I like it to poof up better. Oh, there we go. Probably should have sifted my dry ingredients together, right? I'm going to take a little bit of this salt, a little bit. Otherwise it'll be way too salty. Pink Himalayan. More minerals. More betters for you. Was there a fork over there? Either one. Yep, a fork will work. Look at that. Actually caught that one too. Now, of course you can't see in it, but it's way too wet, so I need to add more flour to it. Well, that's very smoky, but it still is not. There we go. I'm just trying to get some bacon grease in the pan for our beans here in a minute. So, but the bacon's not even crisp yet, so it's not overdoing it. You would think over fire it would just burn like heck, but apparently not today. Still not wanting to play right. Sorry. God, you can't have a pancake consistency. There we go. Okay. Almond flour is not wheat flour. There's a reason Americans use wheat and gluten and all those things. These biscuits, they don't hold together as well. They taste good. It is good. It's healthier for you in theory. You know, we're not going to sit around out here and tell you what's good and bad. But it's, you know, for those that are gluten-free and have an allergy to wheat and so on, I want to give you an option. So it's non-dairy. Haven't put any butter in it. It depends what you call dairy, but eggs shouldn't be dairy. So as soon as I can find a Dutch oven, is that Dutch oven clean? Okay, bring that big one over here. We'll just put it up on the fire. We'll pull this to the side. Just put that up on the fire. We'll take some of those coals from the bottom. It's not hot. Nope, not hot. Okay. Put that in there for now. Oh, let's get some of the... We cleaned it, so it's got some water in it. We gotta get that out of there. All right. Let me grab my tortillas real quick. They're in the cooler. Tortillas in the cooler. There we go. Butter's in the cooler. Cooler's all wet. Cooler. You know, last year we were up here in the snow. This year it's almost too warm. These are just flour tortillas, so I guess that goes against the gluten-free part. But we're not going to eat these. Wow. I gotta come over here, get off the side, and I'm just gonna kind of make drop type biscuits. Okay. This recipe takes, cooks at about 375, 350 in the normal oven, and takes about 15 minutes or so. I think it should give us plenty of time to cook these. I'll put some coals on the top of it. Whoa. Look at that. Okay. Gonna go wash my hands. It's not too hot yet. Okay. Go off screen here for just a minute. Wash my hands. I'll come back and top those off. We're going to put some, get this on there the right way. There we go. Put some of our coals from the other thing on here. There we go. It's an awful big Dutch oven for what we're doing, but it's the one I have clean. Might just take a little longer for them to cook. There we go. We'll kick down some of the fire underneath it so it's farther away and a little less intense. And we'll put a few more on top. And then while we're here, let's check that cobbler. Ooh, it's poofing up. Don't know if it's quite cake yet. Almost. Boy, that's almost up to the top. That's looking beautiful. No wonder Paul would always use like Betty Crocker or something simple. Give it just a couple more minutes. Maybe get just a slight brown on it, but it's almost done. So, between smoke and sweat. So, I'm going to throw this chunk of butter in this pan with I didn't get as much bacon grease as I wanted for my beans. So we'll just put a little more stuff in there for it. Hopefully it won't burn all completely like crazy. Get over on this side. A lot cooler. All right. Okay, there we go. Get it off the fire a little bit more. We got one giant chunk of fire right underneath it over there, don't we? That'll give us this back edge here. Well, those frozen beans should help cool it out. Take our stir stick. I don't see a big smile on Glenn's face or a fish flopping, so I did see a couple jumping down there though earlier, so there must be some in there still. All right, got some flavor. I will let everybody salt their own. I'll take these off for the sweat dripping down my face. So we got one of our cobblers. Thank you. We got one of our cobblers cooking. You know the nice thing about cooking outside? You don't have to clean the stove when you're done. I gotta clean a lot of cast iron, but I don't have to worry about spillage or things on the floor. These are chopped up green beans. Signature Select, I'm sure. They're just green beans. I do have some salt and some pepper, fresh ground pepper if you want, you know. I mean, you can grind it and make it sea salt, you know, not just that normal table salt stuff, you know. Better for you salt. So, anyway. We got our gluten-free almond flour biscuits in there. And we got our cake that's almost to the top. It is fluffed up nicely. I'm very happy with the way it's looking. I'm trying to get it just a little brown on top now.
Cool.
We pulled all the heat except for what's in the ground off the prime rib because it was up to medium,
Right.
the top end. So I'm hoping it doesn't dry out while it sits there. And then we're gonna set these aside here in just a minute. And probably, no, that's not enough. That's way, well, loss. Did we have one more small Dutch oven somewhere? Ah, okay, is it clean? We don't know, we'll clean it. And then we'll put this cobbler in it, or what I might be able to do, just bring the lid, let's see if the lid will fit on this pan. Woohoo!
You get a Dutch oven, and you get a Dutch oven.
And you've watched daytime TV way too much if you know what he's talking about.
I heard it from somebody else.
Sure you did. Uh-huh.
I saw it as a meme on the internet.
Okay.
One of those memes.
And I guess I just admitted that I somehow watched way too much daytime TV if I caught the reference, so.
I'd say we just watched the same meme.
Okay. What's a meme? That's those funny, those little things. Now they're TikToks or something. I can't keep up. I can barely keep up with what a YouTube is and shorts, and I've got a media person helping me do the right thing. So you guys should be seeing in the somewhat near future a few more shorts, more interactive Instagram, Facebook stuff. Because, yeah, we just want to get the word out there and share all this with as many people as we can. All right. Well, that I'll check on in a minute. These are done.
Those are the
Bowl? So I can put the other cake mix in it? Here, just wipe out this bowl. De-garbage it and wipe this bowl out, please. Well, use a paper towel. Here you go. There you go.
Those are good looking green beans.
Yeah. They should be nice and warm. I always oversalt things, so I don't want to oversalt anybody's green beans. But I'm just trying to find a place that they'll stay warm and not overcook, you know, just be out of the way. Woo, that hand will be hot. Ah, perfect thinking. Well, this is a two-glove operation. Oh, that's even more perfect thinking. There we go. And we know there's enough heat coming out of that. That's like a warming oven. We set our wood on fire earlier today. All right. Gluten-free. In there somewhere should be a gluten-free cake mix in a bag, most likely. Thank you. Okay. Boy, that is, man, that is a heavy pot. You know what we didn't do even? We almost promised to make Pop-Tart. That'd be it. We almost, and I'll need the oil back. Let's see, classic moist. I gotta put my glass back on. Half cup, no, plain yogurt, nope, that doesn't work. Ultra rich moist, non-dairy. Third cup, almond milk. 3 large eggs, and a tablespoon oil. Okay. Well, I guess I will grab the 3 large eggs. Yeah. I am somewhere I have a coffee cup. And I saw Brian take a drink of coffee and I'm dying for a cup. Ah, coffee cup. Well, it used to be. Now it's a something else cup, but we'll rinse it out.
With coffee.
Yeah. Oh, it had oil in it. That's what it had in it.
Might
Okay.
sneak in here.
Yes. Well, it's my flavor, so it doesn't matter. Flavor Country. Quick, what ad was that from? It was a cigarette ad, but I don't know what brand it was.
Marlboro?
Yeah, yeah, with the cowboy. Marlboro man out in Flavor Country.
Oh, back when smoking was good for you.
Paul stole Camel from the 50s, or when it's 60s, I guess, for all his Pop-Tart ads. That's where those come from, right? His where a man belongs, yes. And instead of Camel cigarettes, he had Pop-Tarts, and he had, of course, his safari coat and his, you know, his Paul stuff. So here I am in just my jeans and a not so fancy shirt, and
Those Pop-Tart ads were a hoot.
yeah, you know, and I can't even, you know, I can't continue it. I'm not him. I don't have that same stoic look, you know. I mean, and it'd be somebody, oh, you're just copying Pow. Well, yeah, it would be that, so we're not going to do that. Okay, I had a fork around here I just used to stir stuff with. Probably over there.
It's not that one, is it?
No, it's over there where it's on the tailgate. 3 large eggs. Snot rag. Yeah. Oh, that'll work too. Yeah. I just need to beat these together in here. Beat. I threw that away. I need some milk and a little bit of oil. Then we're going to put it on top of this other batch of cherries for our gluten-free cake mix topping. Okay, so let's get that done. And the oil, pre-warmed up oil. Let's read the packaging again. 3 tablespoons. Well, I got about 2 in there. We'll give 1 more. There we go. And the eggs and a 1/3 cup almond milk. Well, you're going to have to guessify. You know I brought almond milk for some reason. That's probably a 1/3 cup. We don't want it too runny, but we need to get it out of the bowl. Because if it's too runny, it will not lay on top of the cherries and make a cake out of it. You know. Actually, for just throwing stuff in a bowl, that turned out pretty good. Okay. All right. I likey. Okay. It's not too hot to deal with. Get this out of the way. Put those over there. We'll just set that on there. That'll work. Get that cooking a little bit. I'm sure those biscuits, well, we'll take I think that's the same size Dutch oven. Let me pour this in here, and then we'll just put that lid on here.
Oh, that's looking swanky.
Oh yeah, that's ready to be done. Yeah, that is. Be thinner, but we'll still have some cake in there. Okay, last time. There we go. All right, see if that fits. Oh, is it one size too small? It needs to come my way. Okay, it's too small. All right, this isn't too hot. Here we go. We'll just leave it off that one because that one's ready to be pulled off the coals. And then I'll get my gloves on. Just pour some on top of there. Get this one cooking. I'm guessing my biscuits are either done or burned. Those other ones. So let's, the true Dutch oven people, they have it figured out where there we go, got it. They have it figured out where you stack all these up and you use the bottom heat, blah, and on and on. I'm not that learned, let's put it that way. Yeah. You know what happens when you put the legs of a Dutch oven on a plastic table?
They melt through.
They do. Paul discovered that a time or two. Okay, do this. Okay, we'll pull this in the middle just a little bit more so we get a little bit of that heat. There we go. Put some of those up there. Set that one there. And I think I have scorched the ever-loving heck out of these. I did. I destroyed them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that sucks. The tortillas may have saved them, but not by much. So, that smoke, sorry, just got carried away doing stuff. Okay, dump the coals off. And That's okay. We got other biscuits over there we can still warm up if you want bread with your green beans and so on. Get this one over here. Get the green beans, because things tend to almost cool off as fast as they warm up out here. Get them over there. All right. I'm going to take this before we kick too much dust into it. I'm going to take this over here. And if we scorch the little stool, we scorch the little stool. We're okay. So we got that cooking. I think we're ready to figure out, maybe off camera on the table, to cut the prime rib. We got our prime rib pulled out. We're going to cut it apart. I'm hoping it's not overdone in the middle. It is juicy still. Ooh, got a little bit of stuff coming out of it. That's good. It's in a net, so let me try to get the net off there. That, of course, holds it on the bone. It's, you know, all the netty stuff. There we go. Get that off. Try to do that without throwing it on the ground. Yes, I'm going to save the bones for some sort of, I don't know what. I'll think of a minute. Oh, broth, soup stock. All right. Let's start over here. Here's praying to you. You're still red in the middle of it. That's a good thing. It's probably a little overdone for most folks, but there is still red in it. I am, right this minute, very pleased with how it turned out. If you want to, there's a paper plate right over there in the thing, Brian, and regular forks back there, and in the bottom of that same box is some black handled knives. But all right. Slice of prime rib. Ooh, end cut, if you like that sort of thing. And not to force veggies on you, so I'll just give you a few. There we go. And take it, don't spill it. There you go. Did you find a steak knife?
I did.
All right. Good. And apparently my camera operator wants a piece. So we'll cut off the camera operator a piece here. Keep in mind I got another one down there. So these are pretty thick slices. I'm not going to forget my cake that's cooking here, like I forgot my biscuits. Oh, this is almost a Nana piece in the middle. My wife, we call her Nana just because that's what the grandkids call her. She, this is a little overdone for her even, but this one's got red in it still, so that's good. I'll just cut it this way. You won't get a bone part. Okay. Gotta thank Dante at Fox Run Forge again for this really fancy knife. I thought it was apropos, Pop-Tart scales and everything. All right, I guess I gotta go help the cameraman and get her. Yes, I guess I gotta go dish out some green beans. You know, and if you're getting a little sensitive, because I may fake a southern accent once in a while, my dad was from Texas. I got a whole bunch of relatives in Texas and Arkansas. So I got some of that blood in me somewhere. So, you know, it's all in fun. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody or anything else. All right. Well, Glenn's down there thinking about catching a fish. Let me get off stage here. Go wash my hands a little bit, blow my nose again. Just one of those days. Is it as good as I thought it might smell? Does it have okay flavor? All right. When you're done playing around, Glenn, we got prime rib for you. Huh? Under. Oh, I did. I tried not to. I didn't put very much salt on it at all. I always over salt, so I put just enough to have a little bit of flavor, because you can always add salt to it. You know, Now I'm hoping that one's got a center cut. But man, if I'd left it on the heat very much longer, we would have been in some serious trouble. None of it is here. Well, maybe you can see it on camera from way over there. Maybe I can get my cameraman zoom in for me, but it's juicy. It's not dried out. It's bison. It's prime rib. Bison tends to be just a little bit sometimes tougher, but it's got good flavor on the outside. Yeah. Okay. Let me get this last piece cut in half here. Probably take a sample piece up to my host. He's got a bunch of friends and family in. I wasn't planning on feeding all them, so I'll just have to take a sample piece up to him as a thank you. It's not that the knife's dull. I'm just trying to cut a really big chunk of meat here and not screw it up. All right. Ooh. Yeah, I like it when the juice runs off it and it's still a little tiny pink in the middle. This is done maybe just a little over for me. Definitely a little over for my wife, Pooh. Want to grab yourself a plate there? And there's a black-handled steak knife in the bottom of that somewhere. And maybe another fork. Well, I know there's another fork because I brought like 4 of them. There you go. Okay. Okay, there is a chunk.
Mother of mercy.
That is a chunk of primey rib. There you go. Those don't have any seasonings on them or anything, so other than just the butter and the bacon. I think this was your cup you left over here to...
Nope, mine's back here.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, is this tea up here staying warm? Okay. Well, it's not that I'm afraid to, but I have in a second. I need to check this. Ryan, you mind tossing me the lid lifter, please? Thank you. There we go. All right. You know, gentlemen, I really appreciate you coming up and sharing this with us. I really do. And I appreciate you guys going through all of the noise and the looks like chaos. Ooh, it's not done yet. It's close. But it's, you can't see it, sorry. It's bubbling up more because I didn't have enough cake just to cover it all. So I'm just gonna pull it off to the side, take it off the top heat, the bottom heat, and just let it cook from the top. Get my gloves here. Yes, I take my gloves home and get them all washed because I stick my dirty hands in them. So don't panic. Again, I will say for the bison, thank you, Teresa at Stangel Bison Ranch out of Enterprise. Go look them up on the internet, get yourself some bison. Okay, take this off the heat, or the bottom heat, let it cook a little bit longer. We've got some really good up here, normal everyday cobbler with the cake mix. And as I look at it from this side, it did brown. It was just hard to tell out here in the light, so that's good. So we'll get dessert kicked out here in just a minute after we have a chance to finish our prime rib. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. And yes, it does smell as good and taste as good as it looks. Now, we're not going to bore you with the cleanup. And we kind of bored you with it today. Hopefully you got a couple fun hours out of it. We were blessed to not have any rain until the last 5 minutes here. It's Oregon, it's the Coast Range. And it's a Paul Harrell Channel video. It has to rain. It's just the way it is. It's law, I think. So, we're gonna have a lot of cleanup to do, just like all Thanksgiving dinners. I am thankful that you folks have sat through this with us. I'm thankful good friends came out and enjoyed this meal with us. I'm thankful that I live in a country and in a part of the country that allows me to do this and stand here in a shirt and jeans and not be freezing. And I'm thankful that I still have my health and my family to enjoy life with. With that, thank you for being here. Have a great Thanksgiving.